Today, we are going to study about the Taylor's principle of scientific management. Scientific management concept was developed by F.W. Taylor, who implemented the scientific techniques such as observation, logic, analysis, and combination to study the working conditions and management at the floor level in the factories and production units. Students, he believed that every work has one best possible method. Scientific management is nothing but what the managers derived from their workers, what kind of work they wanted from their workers. The concept of scientific management was given to improve the productivity, efficiency, and effectiveness in the organization through the application of proposed scientific principles and techniques. So students, principles refers to a fundamental truth, or they are the basic guidelines which binds the work together. They serve as a guide to our thoughts and actions. So F.W. Taylor believed that all the work had a sequence to be followed. There are scientific methods to be followed to increase the efficiency and effectivity of that work. Taylor made certain observations regarding the inexcusable work methods in the companies like Bethlehem Steel, Siemens Rolling Machine, and Midway Steel. In that era, there was a scarcity of skilled labor in the industry. Taylor found that the organizations and the managers failed to utilize the available human resources effectively, and also there was no contribution made in the direction of enhancing the labor's efficiency. Therefore, he made some observations. The observations were: the labor brought their poorly designed personal tools to be used in the workplace. There was no training. There was unorganized job training that was provided to the workers, and the workers only decided the speed of their work, by which machine they would work. That was all decided by the workers themselves. Instead of the individual skill set, the workers were hired according to the first come, first served basis. The managers used to work along with laborers, leaving aside their essential planning and organizational activities. Thus, these crucial management functions were performed by untrained employees. So, based on these findings, Taylor criticized the ineffective ways of the managers to handle the work situations. So, based on these observations, Taylor suggested four important principles, right, which should be followed as in the organizations. The first principle of Taylor was science not rule of thumb, harmony not discord, cooperation not individualism, and the last one was development of each individual to their greatest efficiency and prosperity. Students, as we have discussed earlier, that principles were only the guidelines to be followed. They were the basic guidelines which should be followed in any organization. But to follow those guidelines, we need to make some techniques. So Taylor came up with such techniques as well. Those were based on scientific findings and analysis. Those techniques were functional foremanship, standardization and simplification of work, method study, motion study, time study, and fatigue study. These were together known as work analysis. And last one, but the most important one, was the differential piece wage system. It was a remuneration system. So we will discuss the principles first. The principles of scientific management, which was proposed by F.W. Taylor, were the first one being science, not the rule of thumb. The concept of the rule of thumb was based on the trial and error method. However, Taylor believed that to perform any task there is one best possible method which was developed or which should be developed after an in-depth analysis of the work. When science is applied instead of the rule of thumb to any job, it standardizes that work. Moreover, the workers get a specialized way of performing the task, and wastage of a lot of resource, lot of time and cost can be avoided. Next one was harmony, not discord. Taylor emphasized that on maintaining peace and harmony in the workplace, there should be no conflict among the managers and the workers. Conflicts only result in negativity. So it, in return, declined the productivity of the organization. There can be a significant improvement and growth in the productivity if there exists a friendly relationship between the managers and the laborers where both value the efforts of each other. So Taylor proposed that the organization and the people working for the organization should feel that they are indispensable for each other. The human resource of the organization should go in for a mental revolution, and they should see the change in both the groups. The next principle was cooperation, not individualism. An organization is made up of different individuals, and each one of them is equally important in that business. Business is all about teamwork and cooperation. In the absence of any of the one, the organization may fail to attain the desired results. Therefore, it was very important that the employees in any organization must work together, keeping aside their own individual interests and ego to achieve the common goal of the organization. We should always keep our individual interests at the later stage, and we should always think about the organization interest first. The workers should not oppose the management by putting up irrelevant demands and then going on strikes for their fulfillment. The administration should also encourage the workers to give suggestions and create an open communication system in the organization. The next and the last principle which was proposed by Taylor was development of every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. Taylor believed that employees should be given proper training of the task they perform because no human being is perfect and there is always a scope of improvement. Moreover, training and development improve the competency, skills, and learning of the workforce. It is beneficial for both the organization and the workers. Thank you, students. We will come back in the next video with the techniques of F.W. Taylor.